You've been doing the work, showing up, staying consistent, doing the one thing when you didn't feel like it. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a quiet question has been growing. Is this actually working? Because you don't feel different yet. You don't look in the mirror and see the person you're trying to become. The gap between where you are and where you want to be, it still feels enormous. So you start wondering if you're doing it wrong, if you're not doing enough, if maybe you're just not built for this. I need you to stay with me for the next few minutes because what I'm about to show you is going to reframe everything you think you know about how change actually happens. Here is what nobody tells you about the process of becoming someone different. The change happens before you actually see it. It's already in you before it shows up in the mirror, before it shows up in the results, before it shows up in the way other people see you. And the gap between when it starts happening and when you finally recognize it, that gap is where most people quit. Not because they weren't changing, but because they couldn't see it yet. Today, I want to talk you through 4 things that are going to change how you measure your own progress. Because right now, there is a very good chance you are further along than you think. And you are measuring it completely wrong. Settle in. Let's get into it. There's a way that most people measure progress that almost guarantees that they feel like they are failing. They set a destination, a goal, a vision of who they want to become or what they want to have, and every single day they measure where they are against that destination. And every single day that gap is still there. It's still not where they want to be. It's still not the person they imagined. They're still not enough. That measuring system is not showing you the truth. It is only showing you what you haven't finished yet. Here's the shift that changes everything. Stop measuring forward and start measuring backward. Don't ask how far you have to go. Ask how far you have already come from where you started. Progress is not the distance between you and your destination. It is the distance between you and who you used to be. 6 weeks ago, you weren't even doing the one thing. You were waiting to feel ready. You were telling yourself the story about why now wasn't the right time. And now you're here. You're showing up, doing the work. That is not nothing. That is everything. The person who started cannot see how far they have come because they keep looking at how far they still have to go. Flip the direction. Look back. The evidence, it's already there. That is the first shift. Now, most people are waiting for a big moment, a morning where they finally wake up and they feel completely different. A day where everything clicks and discipline feels easy and the identity feels locked in. They are waiting to cross a line, a clear before and after. Listen, that moment, it's not coming. Not because the change isn't real, but because that is not how change works. Nobody wakes up one morning and suddenly becomes a different person. What happens instead is a quieter and slower and far more permanent than a single dramatic moment. The small decisions start to accumulate. The days you showed up when you didn't feel like it, they add up. The one thing you did consistently starts to compound. And the one day you realize you didn't even think about skipping it, you just did it. Nobody saw that moment. You barely noticed it yourself. But something had already shifted underneath the surface long before you were aware of it. The change you are looking for is not ahead of you. It is already behind you in the days you stopped counting. Now go back and count them. The days you showed up, the decisions you made that the old version of you would not have made. They are already there. You just dismiss them as small. Nothing that compounds starts big. It starts invisible. There's a reason that doing the right things for weeks still doesn't feel like you're becoming a different person yet. You can change your behavior before your identity actually catches up. And there is always a big lag. The behavior changes first and the identity follows. And that gap between the two is the most uncomfortable stretch of the entire process. Because you're doing the work of someone you don't fully believe you are yet. You are going to the gym like a disciplined person, but you don't feel like a disciplined person yet. You're making the decisions, but the voice in the back of your head is still running the old story. That is not a sign that something is wrong. That is exactly what the middle of a real transition feels like. Identity doesn't arrive before the evidence. It arrives because of it. Every day you show up, you are casting another vote. Every time you do the thing when you don't feel like it, you are adding another piece of evidence to the case that is being built inside you. And at some point, not a specific day, not a dramatic moment, the evidence becomes undeniable. The old story doesn't hold anymore. Not because you forced it out, but because you outgrew it. The lag is not the failure. The lag is the process. So keep going. There's a pattern in people who quit that almost nobody talks about. They don't quit at the beginning when it's hard and unfamiliar and uncomfortable. Most people push through that part. They quit in the middle. After the early motivation is worn off, after the novelty is gone, after it has gotten quiet and repetitive and frankly unremarkable. They quit right before the shift becomes visible. Not because the process stopped working, but because it stopped feeling like anything at all. And when something starts feeling like progress, listen, the brain starts asking the question whether it is worth it or not. That quiet, unremarkable stretch, the one that feels like nothing is happening, is the most important part of the entire process. Because that is where identity is actually being built. Not in the dramatic moments, but in the ordinary ones that nobody sees and nobody celebrates. The people who become different are not the ones who felt the most motivated. They are the ones that kept going when it felt like nothing was happening at all. If you're in that stretch right now, the evidence is accumulating. The identity is catching up. The version of you that you have been building is closer than it has ever been. You woke up different. You just haven't noticed it yet. Don't quit before you meet that person, because one day, not all at once, not dramatically, but clearly, you are going to look back at this exact stretch of ordinary days and realize this is where everything changed. And you will be glad that you stayed. You are in the part of this process right now where most people make the biggest mistake. Not the beginning, not the end, the middle. And the middle has a specific feeling to it that nobody warned you about. It doesn't feel like progress. It doesn't feel like failure. It just feels like nothing. And that feeling, it is a liar. Because what I'm about to show you in the next video is what is actually happening underneath the surface during that stretch. And why the people who understand it are the ones who come out the other side different. Watch it now.